The general fragmentation of power, which increasingly characterized the American political system in the latter part of the 20th century, has led to the phenomenon of what many scholars of American politics have called policymaking by subgovernment, or iron triangle. This concept suggests that most of the important federal policy decisions are not made according to the formal process prescribed in the Constitution and described in many civics textbooks. More correctly, decision-making is better depicted as an informal process where policies in particular substantive areas are developed in a cozy, three-sided arrangement among the appropriate bureaucratic agency or agencies, the relevant committees or subcommittees of Congress, and affected interest, usually industry groups. The traditional ideal of Congress as a committee of the whole making law is simply inoperative. The congressional norms of specialization and deference to committees has meant that most decisions are rarely challenged on the floor by the membership. Recently, the concept of policymaking by subgovernments has been challenged by scholars who prefer the term issue networks. The basic difference between the two concepts is that the latter allows for participation in the decision-making process by advocacy groups other than industry interests. The idea that bureaucracies and substantive congressional committees usually make policy decisions, however, remains unchallenged. The participation of advocacy groups in the decision-making process is essential to bureaucracies. Advocacy groups typically are the beneficiaries of the programs or services that a bureaucracy is responsible for implementing and include both the target groups of the programs, clientele groups, and frequently professional groups who may indirectly be involved in the implementation of the programs. For example, the elderly are undoubtedly the primary beneficiaries of the Medicare program, while physicians and hospitals reap spillover benefits. Thus, elderly Americans and their national association, the American Association of Retired Persons, constitute an important clientele group of the Social Security Administration. The American Medical Association would be an important professional association involved in this issue network. Because the clientele groups and professional associations have a vested interest in the services and programs that bureaucracies implement, they have become an important source of political power for federal agencies. When the President or Congress threatens to reorganize, abolish programs, cut services, or pare budgets, affected clientele and professional groups bring pressure to bear on elected officials to help defend bureaucratic turf.